Good morning. Today we are going to start a new topic, that is transformers. So essentially, what is a transformer? A transformer can be defined as a static device which transfers, or what we can say is which alters power from one level to another level change of change of voltage levels. So different types of transformers we are seeing over the years. So we have a core type of transformer, shell type of transformer, auto transformer, various designs of transformers are there. So if we have to define a transformer, we can write a transformer is a device that changes AC electrical power, a device that changes that changes AC electrical power from one level to another level, what from one, basically from one voltage level, that is your voltage level to another voltage level through through action of action of magnetic field. Basically what happens is that if you are seeing any type of transformer, it consists of two or more coils of wire wrapped around a ferromagnetic core. So if you are seeing this is a core, it will consist of this wire wrapped around a core and wire wrapped around a core. So between these wires there is gap. You can see there is gap. It is not interconnected. This is not electrically conducted. So here you are giving supply, phase and neutral you are giving, phase and neutral here you are giving, and externally you are connecting here some load. Load would mean household load. For example, you have connected a fridge over here, okay, or you have connected some treadmill. Some people use treadmill at home, they require one separate transformer. In earlier days we used to have this televisions, we used to have some separate transformers for that. So these coils, you can, as you can see, are not directly connected. The only connection between these coils is the common magnetic flux present within the core. So the transformer winding connected to the power source, this winding which is connected to the power source, this winding is called as primary winding, whereas these other windings which is connected to the load, secondary winding, secondary winding secondary winding, this is called as connected to the load. Now the thing is that a transformer ideally changes, basically what is happening is it is changing the voltage level, but a transformer cannot change power. So if a transformer steps up the voltage level of a circuit, it must decrease the current to keep the power into the device equal to power, because of the law of conservation of energy we are knowing. So essentially there are two designs of transformer. One construction of the transformer is called as the core type of construction. Another construction of the transformer is called the shell type of construction. So if you are going to understand the transformer, so let's understand how it is happening, what type of constructions we are using and why we are using. Basically transformer links we can see in the transformer. In a transformer we can see there is flux, and it's a constant flux machine. Also this transformer is also called as the transfer constant flux machine. So why it is called constant flux machine? So basically what happens is that because of the supply voltage, some flux is getting established. So this portion of the flux that goes from one of the transformer coil uh, and links to the another transformer coil is called as the mutual flux. So basically the total flux in a transformer, if you can represent this, the total flux that is getting established, it is of two components. One is your phi m, this is your mutual flux, and your leakage flux. So the portion of the flux that does not link both the coils is called as leakage flux, whereas this portion which is linking both the coils is called as mutual flux. So this portion is called as mutual flux. So the flux in the primary coil of the transformer can be divided into two components, that is a mutual flux which remains in the core and links both the windings, and a small leakage flux which passes through the primary winding but returns through the transformer bypassing the secondary winding. What happens is that why transformer is called as a this constant flux machine is, see, whenever we are giving a supply to the transformer, so some kind of flux, mutual flux is getting established, and we are obviously connecting a load. Because of the load, so you have to remember electrical and magnetic terminologies. This is my electrical terminology, this is my magnetic terminology. Again I'll repeat, in my electrical terminology what I write is that I write my current inter and the equivalent of current in magnetic terminology is your flux. Here you have voltage, equivalent of this is your mmf, that is your also equal to ampere turns, number of ampere turns, that is your current I into number of turns n. See, if this is your current and this would be your number of turns, this would be your number of turns. So one factor that is important is another thing which I'm using is my here resistance. So here it is reluctance. So this is very important thing, terminologies which we have to understand. So what basically happens is that as I pass my mutual flux, my mmf is entering, so there are some number of turns, let this be n1, and the current through it is I1. Similarly, I'm seeing here it is n2 and this is I2. So basically in a transformer what happens is that it's a constant flux machine. So your n1 and I1 would be equal to your n2 and I2. As you saw, if you are increasing the voltage level, what happens is that power will not change, the current level at some point will decrease. So from this relationship also you can say that n1 by n2, you can see here, is equal to n1 divided by n2 is equal to I2 by I1. In another terms you can say n primary divided by n secondary is equal to I secondary by I primary. So this is one of the important equations. And another thing also that is very important with respect to the transformers is your what we can say is that is your uh, with respect to the transformer we can say that is your this kVA equation remains same. So your kVA, if I have to write my kVA, so my kVA of primary should be equal to kVA of secondary. So you can see my kVA of primary would be kVA of primary is voltage of primary, that is if this is V1 and this is I1, and voltage of secondary is V2. I am denoting my primary as 1 and secondary as 2. So V1 I1 should be equal to V2 I2. So again you can see V1 by V2 is equal to I2 by I1. So from one of my equations over here, if you can see this equation, this N1 by N2 was equal to I2 by I1. So you can again write here this term is again equal to N2 by N1. So we can clearly see this term here, N1 by N2, if we call this as equation 1. Similarly we wrote that our V1 by V2 is equal to I2 by I1, because our KVAs of both the sides are equal, that is V1 I1 is equal to V2 I2. and this is equal to N1 by N2. So this ratio in a transformer is also called as the turns ratio. So again, I have told you there are certain constraints, whenever so always whenever you are exciting a load, what happens due to the load, some voltage faults, so automatically the other side that compensates through the current or the voltage, hence the flux in the machine will not oscillate, it will remain constant. And there are two types of flux linking the machine. One type of flux is your mutual flux, another type of flux is your leakage flux. So there are see two types of constructions. One is the shell type of construction, another is the core type of construction. Now in a core type of construction, you use for higher voltage rating and for higher power applications, whereas shell type is used around till 10 kilowatt. So this is core type of construction. So a power transformer is basically made up of a core type of arrangement. Here we can see the core form of a transformer. I'll be just drawing it, so I'll be rubbing this. So so this is my core type of construction. I have a rectangular limb and another section. So this is a two-legged structure. One leg is this, another leg is this. So this is a two-legged structure. For a core type of transformer, I am using two-legged structure. And what I'm taking is, this is my primary side of a transformer, this is my secondary side of a transformer. This is a core type of construction, core type construction, and windings are wound over this core like this, and you have linking like this. Similarly here, 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 here you have like this, and same here goes here. So this is your construction and this is the secondary side. So you can write, if I can write V2 as secondary and V1 I'll be representing and as primary. We can take VP and VS also, no problem, and we'll take here IP and IS also for this primary and secondary. So what happens is that some important phenomena is that, see, one type of this construction core type consists of a simple rectangular laminated piece of steel with transformer windings wrapped around two sides of the rectangle. So laminated steel with transformer windings wrapped around the two sides of the rectangle. The other type consists of a laminated core. See, another is that laminated core. So this core type consists of what? It consists of shell type consists of shell type. It consists of a laminated core with windings wrapped around the central leg. So laminated core with coils wrapped around center leg, So basically, if you can see, these two type differ from each other by the manner in which the windings are wound around the magnetic core. So in case of a shell type of transformer, you have like this construction. You can say you have a shape of an E. Here you have like this. This is your shell type arrangement. So if you can see, this is a structure of E and I. So this is E on top and I. So what we do is that here you can see this is somewhat construction for a shell type of transformer, and here we can take out, this is my IP, VPT, you can say this as VST, IST. So here you can see there is one leg, two leg, three leg, whereas there is one leg and two leg only. So this is having two legs, or we can say two limbs, uh, a core type of transformer, wherein the shell type consists of three legs, or we can say three limbs, or we can say three limbs construction in a shell type of transformer. So what is the arrangement why we are using is, the main difference between this is the vertical portions of the core are usually called limbs or legs, and the top and bottom portions are called as the yoke. So core type has two legged core, and shell type has three legged core. Shell type transformers are preferred for low voltage. This is preferred for low voltage, as I have told in the beginning applications, and low power levels up to 10 kVA, low power levels 10 kVA, we can say 10 kVA. And what is the other thing, whereas the core is used for high voltage, core is used for high voltage and high power levels, high power levels. So we saw these things, but there are some important conclusions before we are going to go into the details of the transformers. So usually we see, if you encounter, go inside the lab, you can check one thing is that you check the surface of a transformer, and you will see it is not very smooth, the core is laminated, and you will feel that the inside of the core has got some other material, outside of the core is little bit has got some plating, so you will feel that. So usually what is done is that the core of the transformer is laminated, and it is laminated to reduce the area of the current that passes through it, so which reduces the eddy current losses. Basically what happens is that the entire core is constructed of cold rolled grain oriented steel. So this is a very important question also, it appears time and again in the examination. So basically we can say, um, transformer core is made from cold rolled grain oriented steel to reduce core losses. So this you should remember, to reduce core losses. So this is used to reduce core losses. And to reduce eddy current losses, see, eddy current plus hysteresis. See, eddy current, what are these eddy currents? If you are jump sometimes in a river, there would be a type of a whirlpool. So these whirlpool occurs and it sometimes drowns a person. So these whirlpools are a type of eddy currents, they flow on the edge of the river. So what happens is that some of the current that is not linking or is leaking through, you can call it as around the edges of the transformer, is called as similar to that eddy currents, and this creates a loss in form of heat, that is your I square R loss. So to reduce this eddy current, what we do is, preferably is that we will reduce the area in which it flows. The moment we reduce the area in which it flows, automatically what happens is that your eddy current losses will get reduced. Now another thing is that the transformer core is laminated. And what is hysteresis? What happens is that uh, hysteresis is a phenomena that occurs in a core which gets magnetized by the flow of electrons through it. Earlier your electrons are not aligned, they are disaligned. In the physics you must have studied. But whenever you are passing an electrical current, you pass an electric current. So what happens when once you are passing an electric current, so these ions get aligned in one particular direction and show magnetic characteristics. So these show magnetic characteristics. So the process of once you are removing your electrical supply, they again come back to this position. So this process of again magnetizing and demagnetizing is called as a loss. So this is called hysteresis loss. Now to avoid this hysteresis loss, what is done is that there is a coating of silicon which is applied over the transformer. So this coating of silicon, or we can say it as silicon grading, is done over a transformer. Silicon grading to avoid hysteresis loss. Hysteresis loss. Now if you are appearing from hysteresis loss state level examination for an assistant engineer or a junior engineer, or any examination for that matter, central level also, so this is a very common question. They will ask you okay, which type of material which you are using in the transformer. So again I will say, in order to reduce eddy current losses, the laminations are insulated from one another by thin layer of varnish also, because you need not the laminations to short circuit each other. So a varnish is also used to insulate the laminations from each other by using a thin layer of varnish. For reducing the core losses, nearly all transformers have their magnetic core made from CRGO, that is your cold rolled grain oriented steel, that is CRGO. Why is it so? Reason for this is, this material when magnetized in the rolling direction has low core loss and high permeability. So why CRGO? If we say why CRGO, here I can say safely it has low core loss, and high permeability. So today of the transformers, we have seen what are the different type of transformers. Like what type of transformers we are seeing is that social type of transformers, for what application it is used, core type of transformers, for what application it is used. And you can see in iron core transformers, most of the flux is confined to a high permeability core. There is however some flux that leaks through the core legs and non-magnetic material surrounding the core. So this flux is called the leakage flux and links one winding and not the other. So if you want the output equation of the transformer, and from there we will stop today's discussion. So output equation of a transformer, how do you write the output equation of a transformer? In order for you to get the output equation of the transformer, simply we know from the Faraday's law, E is equal to your N d phi by dt, or the Lenz's law, E is equal to minus N, because it's the mutual reaction. We can write E is equal to minus N d phi by dt. Suppose your flux is sinusoidal and it is varying with this term. So this is your maximum flux phi m. So how do you represent this flux? You will represent this flux in terms of phi m. This is your variation, this is your t, phi m sine omega t. So you can represent this. So now you know minus n d by dt of what? Phi m sine omega t. You can write safely. This is your equation 1, this is your equation 2. So you can easily arrive now from here. This is not your phi, this is your E, this is your EMF equation of a transformer. N is the number of turns, this is minus N. So if we differentiate your sine term, so we arrive at cos term. So we can write that phi m sine omega t, if we are putting here, so you get minus n omega phi max cos omega t. So you'll get this as cos omega t, or you can also write minus if you want to write cos omega t plus, you can write n1, okay, phi max, you can write sine of pi by 2 minus omega t. It can be written as pi by 2 minus omega t, but now we need this sign change na here. So I can change the sign here, minus change sign I will change here. I will write it as omega t minus pi by 2. Once I'm writing this omega t minus pi by 2, automatically that sign change is reflecting here. So I see that it will happen maximum when my this term is equal to 1. So this term will be only equal to 1 when my this sine 90, at my sine 90 this term would be equal to 1. So I know that this term has to be equal to 1. So then only I'll get the maximum flux. So let's suppose ki I'm getting the maximum flux, so I can write E is equal to N1 phi, and this is my max and this is my maximum flux. So this is for E max. Now if I want ERMS, that is the actual EMF equation, that value is always E max divided by root 2. So this Emax is how much? This is N1 phi max divided by root 2. So again we can see here, if this is equation 1, 2, 3, you have 4, and this is your fifth equation. And now you can write N1 instead of omega, you can write into 2 pi f, because your omega is equal to 2 pi f. So safely you can write phi max divided by root 2. So this term 2 pi root 2 will give you around 4.44 N1 f phi max, and this is the equation output. This is your output equation, EMF equation. This is your EMF equation of the transformer. So here we are going to conclude this is your EMF equation of the transformer. So based upon this, in the next class we will see some gate type of questions or examination oriented questions also. So hope you have enjoyed this. Stay home, stay safe, and wear masks whenever you are going out, and make sure that you are washing hands at least for 20 seconds. So take care.